everybody, welcome back to Waffles RC. Today we are going to be getting back on this thing. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to be making an exo cage for it, or attempting to. I'm going to show you two ways that I bend the tube. One way I literally just came up with this morning. The other way, that's how I've been doing all of these. But first I wanted to say all the ads that you've been seeing on the channel have not been monetized. I have not been making any money on them. YouTube put those on without me making any money, but now it is thanks to you guys. Now I have the watch hours to be able to monetize. So thank you all very much. I truly appreciate it, and hopefully that'll make it so we can keep building stuff like this without struggling from my job and other, adulting, to be able to make money to keep building more RCs, because trust me, I have a lot of ideas. Just wanted to say thank you all very much again. I truly do appreciate it. So the way I've been making all the roll cages so far, bending them at least, has been with this tool right here. It's just a spacer. It's got rounded edges on the inside. The hard part is getting the tube in there, doing one bend, then trying to do the next bend with it being perfectly in line. So the other idea I came up with, which is a little weird, take a 2x4. Most people have these. If not, ask a friend, you might have one. I'm just going to take this socket with a wood screw down through it. Make sure that's in there nice and tight. And then another one, put it right next to it. There you go. I have tested this, but I'll show you the type of tube that I use. Put it flat on there, and then pull it around, and there's your bend. So I just used some old sockets that I had laying around. Yes, one of them is a 10. I found a 10. But now I have a flat-ish surface. These are in there nice and good. And now I can make the bends pretty well with them. And this is, just so everybody knows, so this is the stuff that I use for the roll cages. It's weldable steel. Come on, focus. There we go. It is solid. It is not hollow. That stuff is what I use to make all of that, and the front bumper and fender guards on that. So how I'm going to start the roll cage is I'm going to make one main bar that goes from the bottom back here up to the roof, down the windshield, and over to the hood, and probably down again. So it'll be a lot of bends, but got quite a bit of this stuff. If you use a tape measure, you can figure out exactly how long you need all the pieces to be. I don't do that. So the way that I do it is always make sure that's a little bit longer. Got it about where I want. So that part's flat, so I'm going to do up the middle of the bend right there. Let's bend that up real quick. Excuse me. Okay, so that mark that I put on there, right there, that's where I want the bend to be, the middle of it. So I'm going to line that mark up with the middle of this particular socket, and that'll be the center of the bend. So it'll be about right there. I'll just bend it up. There's our bend. Just check it on the truck. Yep. That is... I can go a little more. There we go. So there's that bend. Now I'm going to want the next bend that goes across the roof. So... yes, that's my head. Put a mark there. So that's where I want to do the bend to come along the roof. So this right here is why I made this particular bender on a piece of wood, is so that way I can keep the metal flat, and that way it doesn't look all weird and twisted up when it's on the truck. Okay, got it bent up. There we go. That looks good. This is the fun part when you're by yourself. So now I want it to come down the windshield. So I will put a mark for the bend right there. And yes, you can use a tape measure if you want, if you are good at using tape measures. That way this will all work out perfectly. For me, I'm not very good at it. I'm better at eyeballing. So just so you know, that whole thing was eyeballed. I did not use a tape measure on any of it. So that worked for me on that one. So why change something that works for you as an individual? And just keep going with it. So there's one of the main hoops. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this onto another one and hope that I do it correctly. We'll see how that turns out. I did it a little bit bigger because I need to go around the body, obviously, and it's hitting the table, so you kind of just have to imagine that it's going to be straight or look down it. Yeah. Close enough to straight. So I will just duplicate this for the other side. Yeah. Got my two pieces. Now, are they perfect match one-on-one with each other? No, but they're close enough, because remember, it's just an RC. This roll cage is not going to be protecting me or any of the occupants within the vehicle, because there won't be any. I just need it to be relatively strong enough to keep from crushing the body when I roll it over. Not if, when. Because all of these things roll over. So now I'm going to do some crossbars that go across like the hood, the roof, tie this whole thing in together, and I'll use the magnet to make sure that they're straight-ish, and then if they're not, I will just bend them by hand. On a side note, this stuff is hard to bend. I'm not even going to lie to you. So it's tough to bend, even with this, which is why you see I don't cut it, because this part right here gives me all the leverage that I need to be able to pull the bend. And I do it from one end all the way to the other, so that way I have all this leverage. Once it gets to about here, you know, not very much left, you lose that leverage. So just a heads up on that. Okay, got these crossbars cut out, so got that mocked up. Now I'm just going to weld these onto that one, and weld it onto that one, and mock it up on that thing. Okay, got a little carried away. Got the cage at that point right now. Did this piece for the very front. Tried to contour it to the same as the front of the Cadillac. So I'll weld it in and then we'll take a look at it. Okay, let's see how it looks so far. Gotta do some more bending and aligning. Got the start of it going. Got the windshield, front bar, back bar. I gotta bend those ones out to follow the body. I think it's gonna be pretty cool when it's all done, if I can make it look good. We'll see how the day goes. Sorry, I just keep working. I made bottom slider, this little kick bar, go down along there. I'm just going to eyeball it and see what happens. Yes, that's how I do that. You just gotta guess your way through everything. It usually works out pretty good. At least it does for me. But remember, this is not going to be structurally integral to the passengers on the inside. I just want to protect the body. And I think an exo cage on a Cadillac Escalade would be hilarious, so I want to see what it looks like. Yeah, I think that'll work. Just cut two of these out, put it on that, see what happens. Alright, and there we go. There's the start of the cage. Made an aesthetic choice there. I'm going to cut this whole section out, but it's for the tire to clear. And I'll cut the body too. It's coming out pretty good so far. Gotta figure out what to do with the front, the rear, and the top. We'll get started on that once I come up with whatever random idea I have in my head to do this. Alright guys, not gonna lie, totally forgot I was supposed to be filming any of this. Just started going crazy. You know, once you get in the zone, it's kind of hard to get out of it and stop and explain stuff. This is where I'm at so far. So let's get it on there. Still have to do final welding, final fitment, but I got the top on there. Had to leave this open because, you know, sunroof. Well, you can't open the door. Oh, look, it's a toy. You can't open anything. Anyhow, just added a bunch of bars. Once the stickers are on, it'll make more sense. It's hard to tell on camera with it clear. Got the front end pretty much done. Now I just have to figure out the back end. I'll have to get back to it another day. But for you, it'll just be a quick snap. Alright, we're back. Gonna continue on with that whole area. Got all that and the roof. So we'll do the back and the sides. Still gotta figure out what to do. It is another day. It's also dark out. So let's not make my neighbors too mad and continue on with this thing. Okay, so that's what I came up with for the rear. So let me just show you real quick. So there it is on the truck. Yes, I'm going to fix that. Don't think I won't. Maybe. Instead of just doing this bit by bit and showing you each process of each bar, I already showed you quite a bit, except for when I lost track of time and just kept going. I'm just gonna start adding bars and do little clips. I'm gonna try it and see how good my editing skills are. Pretty happy with how that is as of right now. Did the back, put a ladder on it. So with a ladder, I'm not sure about the rules, but I'm pretty sure that makes this an Overlander, because Overlanders have ladders. So Cadillac Escalade Overlander with giant tires. I don't know the rules. I don't make them up. Well, okay, I just made that rule up, but it was too funny to not put a ladder on it. Before anybody says anything about this being quite pointless and top heavy, what about this makes you think that is going to be the best crawler that has ever been made? It's going to be very top heavy. It's going to be ridiculous, but that's what I want. And it's going to get more ridiculous. If you think this is much, wait till you see all the rest of the stuff that I got for this thing. It's going to be very bright. Just keep that in mind. I'm not trying to build the best rock crawler. I'm having fun. Some would say maybe a little too much fun, but I don't care. I'm pretty happy with all the random bars. I added these ones right here just to fill that blank space out. This will make a lot more sense once the stickers are on and you can see the headlights or the grille and the windows. I'm gonna paint those. Got the back all done. Top's done. Now yes, the wheelbase does not match. that looks a little funny. The whole thing's going to be funny. So, that is the cage. Look, looks like an Escalade, but worse. It is not the prettiest or the best welds, but that is not the point of this thing. I am going to go through, finish weld it all, do the inside. That is going to protect the body. And hopefully it doesn't wind up looking, you know, like the rest of them. It's going to get messed up. It's perfectly fine by me. So I think that'll be it for this video. As you can see, flex is pretty good. I'm happy with that. So off camera, I'm going to paint it. The reason why I do it off camera is because I'm not a good painter. So you don't need to see that. And I like the surprise when it's all done, because I got some fun ideas for paint scheme. You know it's going to be purple, but this is going to be fun. In the next video, what we're going to do is start doing all the electronics, getting the motor, transmission, all that stuff in there, and then all the fun stuff. So it's all going to just, you know, here's a little glimpse of all the stuff that I need to complete it. And yes, it's a small box, but it's all in there. It's a little car. So thank you again from Waffles RC. Really appreciate everything that you guys have done. Just subscribing, watching the videos, it really does mean a lot. And I'm just astounded at how quickly the channel is growing. I'm so happy. Hope you guys tune in for the next one. Please like and subscribe, and you'll see more of the Escalade getting finished up, and then we'll go for the first drive. I just realized I didn't order drive shafts.